the way,
to you
can
in
I
just a
one quick
moment.
thing there was a thing in Politico this morning that Rahm, who backed away from running for DNC chair, is now,
Yeah,
according to Jmart.
that's
So
our that's our
Have you
that's our
read the agenda
that's our
I
that's our
did.
next that's our next topic. That's our next topic. Thank you for
I got
teeing it
wound
up.
up on the economic thing.
106,
Have you
106,
seen the
please.
Lutnick stories
So
yet, though? That's what I want to
so
know.
What?
exactly. So yes, as Sean suggested, Jonathan Martin in need of a column, but it is true. He does
Yeah.
connect the threads. However, he has far too far down in the story Rahm's problems with the left. Okay. He also doesn't mention that Rahm happens to be Jewish, which I think might be an issue for some voters. Interesting he didn't raise that. But I think that I've said this before. It's too common, particularly for Democrats now, to focus on the flaws in their prospective candidates. Yes, they've all got flaws. None of them are a generational talent. There's no Bill Clinton, there's no Barack Obama in this field. There's just not. But Gavin Newsom in particular, everybody focuses on his negatives as if he doesn't have any upside. This story largely focuses on Rahm's upside. And again, I think that's good for the party, but it really, to my ear, downplays how difficult it would be for Rahm to win a primary because the left does not like him, and he's an older white man. So an older white man with a history of attacking the base of the party to me seems like a lot of problems, or as Rahm would say, a lot of surus. Sean, J Mart posits that Republicans think Rahm is formidable. I think it quotes maybe Tom Cole, who's a quote, some Republicans quoted in the
Correct.
story.
Tom Cole.
Say Tom Cole. And we all think Tom has got very good judgment. So, Sean, start out. Is Rahm formidable to be the next Democratic nominee and president or not?
I mean, look, could he win a primary? And again, sort of like my financial advice. I'm not sure I'm the best person to give Democrat primary advice. But I will say this, as a Republican, if he were the nominee, he is a very, very, as Dan says, he's a political athlete. The guy knows how to raise money. He knows how to message. He knows how to scrap and fight. I would be a lot more worried about Rahm than any of the like quote leading candidates right now because of his political prowess. That being said, even as a Republican, I have a hard time seeing as how he gets through the current base.
Dan.
Yeah, I think, Mark, you said it. Rahm has a ton of talents, as the story describes. I mean, could I see him in the ring with JD Vance? Absolutely. Like I as a person who loves politics, like I'd love to see that fight. The challenge is, as you said, the base hates him. I mean, it's not just progressives and the African American community or the Black community, a huge force in Democratic primary politics. He's got some history there that he would have to try to square. I think the challenge, like if I were Rahm, I would get outside the bubble. Like this story is about him trying to kind of court the insiders and appearing in Washington. Like he's not going to win that battle. It's why he didn't even kind of really become an official candidate for DNC chair. I would get outside of Washington because he can give a speech. He's full of one-liners. He's full of piss and vinegar. Get out there and go kind of road test this message in the States and see if you can do a JJ dinner and get them like hooting and hollering, right? Let the DC press see what's happening out there instead of trying to convince, the Politburo that you're the right candidate, because I don't think they'll ever get there. I will also just add the history of the Democratic Party is to go with the safe choice. John Kerry over Howard Dean, right? Hillary ultimately over Bernie Sanders. Joe Biden, even though he got walloped in Iowa and New Hampshire, over Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. And so if you're Rahm and you get out there and you start to kind of show something, I think DC would fall in line behind you and you remember like the real world isn't Twitter. So could he do it? Maybe. But as you say, he's got huge problems with the base of the party that everyone says we've got to confront.
By the way, I think it's amazing that what Gavin Newsom's got like 50 million downloads of that Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
He might, if that guy had a clue, he would give up running for office and become a podcaster on the left because he'd make a boatload of cash.
Well,
like Sean Spicer, he has Steve Bannon up next.
Exactly. He has Steve Bannon on. A couple things about Rahm to follow up on what you guys said. First of all, he became a columnist for the Washington Post. And to go to your point, he should be a columnist for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, not for the Washington Post. He doesn't need,
or just the Atlantic,
or just he doesn't need David Ignatius's support. Number one. Number two,
But he needs Jeff Bezos's money.
he doesn't
And that's
need
a
the money.
joke. He doesn't. But
He doesn't. Number two is Rahm is one of the best fundraisers in the history of the party. But can he be a grassroots fundraiser? Because that's how you raise real money in politics now. And I don't know that he can be. Number
Mark,
three,
I think he can, because the way you raise
maybe.
grassroots money is saying something that like fires people up.
Maybe
He is willing to say it.
I wonder if he took the DCCC list with him when he left.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the other thing I'll say. People who win the White House have a narrative, right?
Yep.
They have a narrative arc about their heroic story that leads them to run for president. I know Rahm very well for a very long time. Tell me what his narrative arc is.
Sure, I have fought with the base of our party, and I'm willing to do it again for the good of the party. I mean, look, say no.
But first of all, I say no. I'm interrupting you to say no on two levels. One is that doesn't help you win the primary to say I fought with my vote. I fought with the voters. And the other thing is that's not biographical. That's issues. That's about politics. You need a story about your life outside of politics.
Yeah, but Mark, I mean, look, he's going to have to come up with like 4 things that I want to do. Education seems to be one that he's road testing. But what you're saying is I am a fighter who has been willing to take on. Joe Biden took on Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders in 2020, and he would not sign the pledges. He would not do that stuff. And the voters ultimately went with him. Like, I actually think all we keep talking about on this show is the Democratic Party's got to deal with its base. It's got to deal with the litmus test. It's got to deal with these like straitjackets that we keep putting on people. I'm not saying he'll be successful, but if I were him, don't apologize and kind of pull a Mike Bloomberg in 2020 where you like say, oh, I made all these mistakes and I found religion. Own it.
Name something. Understand.
If I were Rahm, I would cling to his story of the American dream. I ran for office. I left, got really, really rich because of my government connections, and then I went back into government.
Okay, you're proving my case. He's done nothing outside of government except get really, really rich. Because he's been in government.
Right, Donald Trump, it didn't get really, really rich. Like that's not.
He did, but he did it outside of government. He didn't leverage.
I think, Mark, everyone thinks they're all corrupt. No one is going to get up. You could say I'm Little Sisters of the Poor. They all think once you get in office,
Little Sisters of the Poor are poor.
This is like the mistake Democrats make of I won't take PAC money and I'm going to get rewarded for it. No one knows what the hell that is. They think everyone's corrupt. Own it. Own it.
All right. Three closing questions about Rahm. Number one, will he run?
No.
He's going to road. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
AP says Canada's going to announce 20 billion more in retaliatory tariffs today. Sorry, Dan, will he run?
He's going to road test it, which is essentially running. I don't know if he'll officially announce, but I think he's going to try.
All right. Sean, if he does run, who will his most prominent black supporter be?
A former colleague in the House, or someone from Clinton White House. I mean, I'm just trying. I mean, I'm trying to remember who was in the Clinton White House, but yeah, something like that.
Okay, so a former House member or current House member or a Clinton administration person.
Yeah.
Dan.
All eyes turn to Jim Clyburn and his children.
You folks are forgetting Barack Obama.
I don't think so.
Obama won't touch this with a 10-foot pole.
Nope. No way.
No,
you're wrong. His most prominent supporter, if he runs, will be Barack.
Oh no! His
Obama.
Supporter, public supporter. There's no way. No.
Or Mark, let me ask you
watch.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna question your Rahm knowledge. Would Michelle Obama support him? Okay.
No, that would not happen.
I think finally, say what you will, Obama's not going to blow it on that.
Finally, yes or no? Will the Clintons endorse Rahm? Yes or no?
Oh. Bill Clinton.
Here's a bigger question. Do you want the Clinton endorsement?
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
100%.
Yes, you do. Yes, 100%. You do.
Yes. You know what? Yes.
Yes. Sean, will the Clintons endorse?
As a couple or individually?
They will endorse together, I promise.
Yep.
Well, then, yes. I mean, if you have that aura of, I know the answer.
He never turned his back on Bill Clinton for a single second. And I think
he did one day. He did for one day.
Okay. All right. 24 hours. Sorry.
But I don't know if Bill Clinton knows. All right. All right. We'll
Now he
talk more
does.
about this. We'll talk more about this. By the way, two-way will be the place for what I like to call premature talk about 2028. We're going to own this space because
I love it.
I can tell from the way everybody lit up. This is all you guys want to talk about. Tomorrow, Amy Klobuchar, just kidding.